2019, 2020, our current Deputy Chief of Health and Safety started our Cancer Advisory Committee, and that's where I initially got involved in official capacity, where we support our members as best possible when they receive a diagnosis, whether that be primarily through mentorship, but we also help them get second opinions, do what we can to support their families, and things along those lines. It's anything we can do to help them out. I got involved through my own diagnosis, and again, I kind of had an informal support role in the department just through word of mouth. You might want to talk to this guy. He's dealt with cancer before, because in 2015 I was diagnosed, had just gotten hired with DC with an appendiceal cancer that was pretty invasive and dealt with a lot of treatments. So that's kind of how I got the invite to work with other members. So the department is doing it right in multiple facets. I would say the first one is when you come in the door now in our recruit school, we spend a few hours with you giving our presentation and discussing this and discussing previous members that have struggled and have gone through this fight and have unfortunately passed away. We try to make it as real as possible. I always talk with them that I'm not trying to scare you out of the job, because this is a great job. We all know that. But I want you to know how real this is and how it's affected not just members, but their families, because a lot of these men and women are younger in their life, as was I when I was diagnosed. And you think, oh, whatever, that can't happen to me. Those guys were all, 45, 50, 60 years old when they were diagnosed with cancer. So trying to instill good practices into them young, I tell them that, if you're not going to do it for you, think about your future self, your future kids, the family you have now. But in that lecture, we talk about decon and how important that is, and the self-responsibility you have to have fresh uniforms with you, to make sure you're washing your gear. The department has been doing it right for a long time prior to our Cancer Advisory Council and working with FCSN with gear washing. We've had two sets of gear for a long time. We have a scheduled gear cleaning for both of those sets. We work really hard to stay compliant with an FPA 1851. On top of working with the new recruits, again, when you get promoted, we have supervisor courses. So we have supervisor 1 for our new sergeants, supervisor 2 for lieutenants, et cetera. Each rank you receive additional training with. And we can constantly remind those leaders that they're in a position to lead the way. And in years past, going out of service after a fire or after some sort of exposure is a non-issue. You're able to get back to the firehouse, take a shower, change into a clean uniform so that you can protect yourself and stay healthy, and then get back into service to continue serving our residents and visitors. So that was an issue in the past, which is no longer one. We also have been very fortunate that our union was able to get presumptive legislation for our members, with management assisting getting that out to everyone. It doesn't cover every cancer, but it covers a lot of the big ones. So we have had to fight for our members for some of those ones that were on the line, but ultimately it's a great thing we're able to offer the members of our department. In the future, we're working right now, hopefully, to get something set up with local hospitals to have the ability to send our firefighters somewhere specific as we continue to see our members get sick. Our department continues to do it right. Like I already hit on, I think it starts from day one when we meet with our recruits and express to them the importance of taking care of themselves throughout their entire career. And that comes with, not using tobacco anymore, limiting alcohol use, getting good sleep on your days off, because you're going to come in here and run. And we know now that sleep deprivation is a cancer-causing problem. And our department's doing it before that, going back to having the exhaust systems installed in the firehouse, getting annual physicals through our department, limiting taking dirty gear into our living quarters or bunk rooms. I know that used to be a practice of the past, which you no longer see anymore. You're not allowed to take your turnout gear into any sleeping areas or sitting areas. And then recently, again, with our big push the last couple of years of doing a wet decon, at least when it's not freezing cold outside, we do a dry decon if it's not feasible on the fire ground, using the cancer wipes which the department provides for us now, ensuring time for companies to stay out of service so they can go back and take showers. All these things are pivotal in reducing the cancer rate in our department. And I look forward to continue to work towards creating more. DC Fire and EMS has our Cancer Advisory Council, and that was started around 2020 by Deputy Fire Chief Sean Downs, who's currently our Health and Safety Deputy. And he had the vision of providing a large amount of support to our members that were going through cancer. I was asked to help co-chair that once he got it off the ground. And we really primarily work with the members who come to us because it's completely voluntary, but we do everything we can to help anyone that's diagnosed with a cancer. On top of working with the DC Fire and EMS department, I'm also proud to serve as the state director for Washington, DC through the Firefighter Cancer Support Network. And with that, I help pair not only the members of the DC Fire and EMS department, should they live within the district, but other members that might live in the district, to help them navigate their fight with cancer. We match them up with a mentor, and that's a badge to badge thing where they can talk with other firefighters who have gone through the fight like myself. And we're there from beginning to end, including getting them their toolbox from FCSN to help them and get them all the resources that we have to offer. Smart firefighter. And with all the information you're provided with now, you can't ignore it. These cancer rates are not going to go away. They're only going up. So everything that's taught to us through the Firefighter Cancer Support Network or your local department, whether it's deconning after a fire, using wipes, taking a shower, all those basic things, washing your gear, like you have to be doing those. And for leadership, whether you're on the executive staff or a first line company officer, you have to be out here leading the example for the next generation and for the new guys coming in the door. They look up to you. They're going to do the things you do, even if you're not ordering them. So please set good examples for our future men and women.